Markle's Tale and I welcome you to another weekly reading vlog. It's the first week of October, today is the 3rd, and even though I've had my decorations and stuff up for like a month now, we are officially like in the Halloween month. So I've been specifically saving a bunch of my like fall TBR books for October. In particular, I've been saving all of my graphic novels for October, and that's what I'm gonna be reading in this reading vlog. I'm pretty sure that all of them are like cozy, magical, kind of witchy vibe books. I'm just gonna run through all of them really quick with you. First, I have Crumbs by Dani Sterling. This one is about a magical bakery. The back says, in a very special town, there's an even more unusual bakery with a selection of baked treats handcrafted to help your dreams come true. This sounds so cute, and I've seen a couple of other people read this and enjoy it, so I am looking forward to getting to it this week. I also have Mooncakes. This one is by Wendy Zhu, Suzanne Walker, and Joamette Gill. I said in my fall TBR that I was going to look up their names for this video, and I totally forgot to do that before I filmed this clip. So in the next clip, oh, excuse Markle. In the next clip, I'm going to have all of their names and stuff correctly pronounced. I haven't actually read the synopsis for this, but it looks like another kind of like magical bakery type of setting. The main thing that really made me want to read this book is this blurb from Casey McQuiston. They said, if mooncakes were a spell, it would be a housewarming charm that settles with care into the softest parts of a home and makes the houseplants grow. I wish that I could live inside this book. So that just sounds so cozy, and also like the most Hufflepuff book I've ever heard of. Then I have Hooky, which is by Miriam Bonaster. This is about twin witches that miss the bus for magic school, and like some kind of adventure happens to them. I'm just totally in like the witchy magical mood this month, so this is gonna be perfect. And then this last one is kind of like a last minute addition to my fall TBR. I found this after I had already filmed that video, so we're adding it on in this video, but it's the Seance Tea Party, and it's by Rimena Yi. I'm definitely gonna have to look that one up. This one is about a girl who befriends a ghost, and this cover is everything. It is so cute. Honestly, all of these covers are so cute, but I really love this one. So those are all the graphic novels that I'm going to read this week. And honestly, I'm probably gonna get through these really quickly. I feel like graphic novels are just really quick reads. So if I finish these before the week is over, I'll just add on some other books. I did kind of start The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Keisha and Liv did some reading sprints last night and I joined, but I didn't read very much because I ended up falling asleep on accident. So I think that I only read like the first maybe 11 pages or something. So that's one that I'll pick up physically after I finish all of these. And then I do have an audiobook because I like to always have an audiobook that I'm listening to, especially because my commute to work is a half hour. And I can also kind of listen to audiobooks at work sometimes. So I am reading The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. You can't see that. I'll put a picture of the cover here. This is the sequel to The X-Hex, which I just barely read like a week or two ago. And this book follows the cousin of the main character from the first book, and also the brother of the love interest from the first book. So it's definitely kind of in line with that romance trope of people kind of conveniently falling in love with people that they already know or already have like connections to because of the people in the first book. And I don't mind it too much, except for the main character in this one. I think her name is Gwen. In the first book, she was in a relationship with a woman. So Gwen is bisexual because it also kind of talked about her being in a relationship with a man earlier on too. And I love that this has a bisexual rep in it, but I was really kind of hoping that she would be in a relationship with a woman in this book, and she's not. It's not like a total deal breaker because I do like the guy that's in this book that's the love interest, but I don't know, I kind of just would have liked like a female relationship. It's pretty cute so far actually, and I think that I'm enjoying it more than the first book. The plot of this book and also kind of the first book is that all of the main characters basically are witches. Gwen owns kind of like a gimmicky witch shop that has like plastic pumpkins and cauldrons. I think they like sell some tarot cards and stuff, but it's very much like fun fake magic kind of stuff. And then the love interest comes into town and he wants to open up a more kind of like authentic witch shop, and it has a very different vibe from Gwen's shop, and they kind of are like butting heads because of that. So it's kind of like enemies to lovers. Today my plan is to sit down with one of these graphic novels and read it. I also want to bake cookies, pumpkin cookies, of course, we have to. And then for the past couple of Octobers, I've been watching Over the Garden Wall. The vibes are immaculate. I love the art style. It's definitely kind of weird. Like if you're a fan of like Adventure Time, you'll probably like this, but it's like a cartoon, but I love it. It's one of my favorite things to watch every fall. So I'm thinking of starting that while I bake the cookies, and then I'll start one of the books after that. So I just barely finished Over the Garden Wall. It went by so fast, I kind of forget how short of a TV show it is. So it basically just lasted as long as I was making cookies, so it was perfect. And I think that I'm actually gonna wait about like an hour to pick anything up because I'm doing reading sprints on Jessie's channel. It's her birthday reading sprints and we're gonna play games and stuff. A bunch of my other friends are gonna be on there too, so I'm really excited, but I think I'm gonna wait to pick any book up until we start reading. Jessie just DM'd the group and told us that we need to have 3 fall items ready for when the live show starts and that we're not supposed to tell each other what they are. So I need to pick my 3 fall items. And I already have 2 picked out. I'm gonna do a skeleton and one of my pumpkins. And then for the last item, I have a witch hat, or I also have like some bats on the wall as decoration and I could take one of those off and use it. I don't know which one I'll end up for sure choosing, but I'm really excited for these games tonight and I'm really excited for the sprints. I think it's gonna be so fun. I'm Summer. My username is Seasons Readings on Instagram and YouTube. Today I'm going to be reading Crumbs. It's a graphic novel. Yeah, it's supposed to have all the fall vibes. It's about like a magic bakery, so I'm very excited for it. It's the next day, so it's Tuesday, and today's actually mine and Travis's 2-year wedding anniversary. He's working today and he's actually working 2 jobs, so more than normal. So we're not really doing anything too crazy to celebrate. After he's done with his like day job, he's gonna go and teach at the university and I'm gonna go with him and just kind of sit in on his lab that he's teaching. He's usually there from like an hour to 2 hours, so I figured I could just bring one of the graphic novels and read a little bit while I'm there. And then after that, we're gonna go pick up dinner at a Japanese restaurant. It's one of our favorite restaurants, so I'm really looking forward to it. Today though, since I had the day off and Travis isn't with me, I figured it would be fun to go like do some thrifting and stuff, and I also thought it would be fun to do like an Instagram controls my day. I already have a few up that I'm gonna look at later in the day, but the one that I do need to look at right now is for which rings I'm gonna wear. I already have most of this hand done, but you guys are picking what I put on this hand. All right, so option 2 is winning. So it's my turquoise ring, my moonstone ring, and my rhodochrosite ring. So now that I have all of my bling on, I'm going to tell you how far I made it into Crumbs last night. So I made it pretty far. I made it to page 241. So more than halfway through. Can I just say, I hate the smell of this book. Like, it does not smell good. I don't know if it's like the paper or the ink or what, but it is not doing it for me. I am really enjoying this so far. I kind of feel like it's too long though. I feel like this middle part that I'm reading has been kind of like lagging a little bit. I'm not caring as much about what's going on. This story so far is very much kind of like, not a coming of age, because I don't really know how old these characters are. I don't think they're in high school. I think they're kind of like in college pursuing careers and stuff. And this is a magical world where like everyone is aware of magic. There are lots of witches and stuff. People know how to use spells. They have these really cool like cell phones that have almost like a little like sprite or like a spirit inside of it. So it's like Siri, but if she was like cute and had a personality and could kind of like pop out of the phone a little bit. The main character, Ray, is a seer, but her gifts aren't so much like seeing into the future. She can see what's happening in the present. So like as a kid, one of the ways that they found out she was a seer was because when she was little, taking all these like tests and stuff, like math tests, she knew all of the answers to really complicated questions because she just knew present time what those answers were, what kind of answers the teachers wanted, that kind of a thing. And so she, her whole life, has known that she wants to be like a seer for, I don't know if it's this like company or what, some kind of like council. It's one of those things where it's so secretive that they kind of like wipe your memory when you go in and out of it, and you can't like tell your friends and family what goes on. But they do a lot with seeing the future, so they need more people like her. That's one aspect of this book that I don't really understand what's going on, and I wish that I did, because it's a big part of her life and she's kind of struggling with it. So I feel like I would connect to her more if I knew what was happening. And then the love interest is Laurie. He works in his aunt's bakery, but he's a musician and he wants to make that his job. And honestly, music and books is not one of my favorite things, so I kind of don't care too much about that storyline just because it's something that I'm not really interested in. This is just about 2 people that are like falling in love, having a relationship, but they're also trying to figure out individually what they want to do with their life. So it's really cute so far, but this is just a long graphic novel. I think that it could have been cut down a little bit. And I also wish that there were more like bakery vibes. That's kind of what made me want to read this book, was like a magical bakery where each of the like things that are made, each of the pastries, each of the drinks have like some kind of like intention infused with it. So like there's a tea for peace or for clarity or for like focusing, and then there are pastries for like romance and stuff. I wanted more of the bakery, like seeing the process, kind of like seeing all the different kinds of things that they make, all of like the witchy magical bakery vibes. I wanted that, and I feel like there was a little bit at the beginning and every once in a while this friend group goes to the bakery or the cafe, whatever it is, and they kind of like hang out there. So I'm really hoping that there will be more of that in the last third of this book, but I am liking it so far. The art style is cute. I think if I had to rate it right now, it would be a 3, which physically hurts me because, like I said this on the live show last night, since I am an illustrator and I've worked on stuff like this, I know how much hard work goes into it. Like, not that people that write traditional novels don't put a lot of work into it, but this person is like writing a storyline and also drawing it. Like, I just feel like there's so much work that goes into this, and I feel extra bad giving it kind of a lower rating. Like, if I'm rating this just on like effort and art style, it's a 5 for sure, but like story-wise, not my favorite. I'm going to take a break from this one today and read another graphic novel. I did a poll on Instagram to see if I should pick up Hooky or Mooncakes, and so far Mooncakes is winning, but I'm going to wait until closer to when I'm going to read it to see which one I should pick up. But yeah, that's the plan for today. Also, I just had to show you guys, this isn't book related, but it's like anniversary related. I'm wearing my Taylor Swift Invisible String shirt, and it's because I associate Folklore and Invisible String with our wedding. Folklore came out like super close to when we got married, and so I was listening to it like all leading up to the wedding, all through wedding planning. And then I love Invisible String because it's just such a cute like love story song, and so I put that like on our wedding playlist. It's one of my favorite songs from the whole album, so I also have a t-shirt from it that I got back then, and I figured it was kind of like the perfect shirt for today, you know? I have the worst memory, and I already forgot if I said this, but I'm going thrifting today. I'm gonna go do that right now. So I'm going to try to film as much as I can while I'm out, and also kind of maybe make some more polls and stuff to ask on Instagram while I'm out. I just got back from thrifting and I wanted to show you what I got. I actually didn't get too many things this time, which is good because sometimes I don't have very much self-control when I go thrifting. I got 2 things at the first thrift store. One of them is this wall hook, and I'm going to spray paint it gold. I also really hate these like little plastic gems, so I'm gonna remove those or cover them with something. But I thought this could be cute once I spray paint it, do a little bit of a flip on it, and we always need more hooks in our house for like bags and coats and stuff, so I think this will be really great. And then the next thing is this little candle holder. I like that it's gold, I like the stars on it. It kind of fits for Halloween right now, so I could put it out for like Halloween decorations, but I'm gonna use it all year round. I actually still have like between 30 and 50 like little tiny candles from our wedding, and so I'm slowly making my way through them, and they'll fit perfect in this, so I thought this would be cute. And then at the other thrift store, I ended up getting this hoodie that I tried on. Or not hoodie, it's like a pullover. I don't wear a ton of white because, I mean, anybody that has like suffered with like eating disorders or like body dysmorphia or anything, white makes you look bigger. So I just have always avoided white, and I'm trying to kind of like break out of that mindset a little bit. So I figured this would be a fun way to do that. It's very cute, very comfy. It's like brand new from Old Navy. Like, it's not new with tags, but it's in like brand new condition, and I got it for $5. And I'm definitely gonna be wearing this a lot once it gets a little bit colder here. And Marco wants to say hi. He hates being held so much. I'm sorry. That was the haul though. I'm really quick gonna start cleaning all of these things, and then I'm gonna make a quick lunch, and then I'm going to sit down and read some of Crumb's. about to head out to work, but I wanted to update you on what I finished yesterday. I finished Mooncakes in one sitting yesterday while I was at Travis's lab at the university. I really loved this. This was like all of the vibes that I've wanted from Crumbs, which I also finished yesterday, but I'll talk about that more in a second. I just really loved this. I loved the story and the plot. I loved the characters and I loved all of the representation. I loved the world and the magic, and I gave this 5 stars. And then I also finished Crumbs last night before I went to bed, and I watched the ambiance video that I asked about on Instagram. This one ended up being a 3-star, which pains me because, like I said, the art is beautiful. If I was rating it just on the art, it would be 5 stars. I just felt like I was waiting for stuff to happen. This is definitely more of like a character-driven story and like a character study story, which I don't always hate, but for some reason in this, I just didn't care enough about what the characters were doing and what they were pursuing to really want to get to know them more. And I had opposite feelings for this book. I want so many more books and more stories about these characters. I want to get to know them more. And these ones just weren't my favorite, and all of my thoughts that I had in the previous clip talking about it, I still agree with. So this was still cute and I'm glad that I read it, but it is a 3-star read. I have to leave in 5 minutes, so I need to wrap this up, but I'm going to take Cookie to work with me today. I don't know how much of it I'll be able to read depending on how busy of a day it is. And I also, since I'm gonna be working, don't know how much like video, like clips and stuff I'll be getting today. Rachel is coming over tonight for movie night. We're watching the new Dahmer series on Netflix. I think that we're almost done with it. But those are pretty much all of my plans for today, and then tomorrow I also work, so this might be kind of like a little slower part in the vlog, or I might just skip all the way ahead to Friday, so I will keep you updated. Happy Friday. I did end up skipping yesterday because all I did was work. But as you've already seen, today was so much more fun. Travis and I went to a farm, we did a corn maze, picked out some pumpkins. I also got to pet so many cute little farm animals. I got to pet a cow. It didn't really want anything to do with me because it was hungry and I didn't have food for it, so it was like, bitch, get out. But I just wanted to pet it, it was so cute. But listen, I thought it was gonna be like fall weather and stuff, but I forget that we live in the desert and it was literally like 90 degrees while we were out there. So it was kind of hard to get into the fall spirit when I'm like sweating while I'm like hunting for a pumpkin and stuff. But we both still had a really fun time. And then to top it all off, we got ice cream after. I got a pumpkin bread batter flavored ice cream, and then I got like graham cracker mixed in with it. It was 10 out of 10. It was very good. As far as reading goes, I've actually finished 2 books since the last time I talked to you. I finished The Kiss Curse on Wednesday, I think, and I already forgot what I rated it, so 1 second. So I gave The Kiss Curse a 3.5 out of 5, and I think that I gave The X-Hex a 3. So I did like this book just slightly better than the X-Hex, so that's kind of my reason for the rating. This one was cute and it had all of like the small town fall things happening and stuff. It's kind of set around Halloween. And of course it's about witches, so there's all like the witchy things going on too, which I always love. But something that I didn't love in the first book that also happened in this one as well is that I felt like the ending was kind of rushed and kind of convenient. So it kind of messed up the pacing for me, and then it also made it so that I didn't take any of the threats seriously because it was literally getting wrapped up in what felt like 2 pages or so. And so it just makes the big bad or whatever not seem like it was actually that bad, and then it makes everything that you were doing leading up to that moment just feel like it wasn't really worth it. Even though I was really hoping for a female-female romance, I did enjoy the relationship in this book. I loved the relationship and the love interest way better in this one than in the first one. I also love Sir Percival, and I need more books with talking cats in them. Although the audiobook voice for the cat is a little bit creepy. My main thing that I've been looking for in October books is just fall vibes, Halloween vibes, spooky vibes. And these books, even though the plot and stuff isn't really my favorite, they have those vibes. I just said the word vibes a million times, but the feelings in the book are perfect for October. But I really enjoyed hearing about what the interiors of both of their shops looked like, hearing about them kind of like running the shop day to day and stuff. I really enjoyed those parts of the book. So I finished The Kiss Curse before the workday was over, so for my drive home I decided to start the audiobook for Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin. I actually didn't realize how short of a book this is, so it didn't take me very long to read. I think it's under 200 pages. This book is very accurately advertised because the book is about exactly what it says. Everything that you read feels like a fever dream. Nothing really makes sense. We're really just thrown right into the story. There's no pretense to anything. Since I listened to the audiobook, I couldn't really tell all the time like who was talking, and that just kind of like added to the dreamlike state of everything. I actually really enjoyed the writing. I was enjoying the story. It was just weird, and I was just really wanting to figure out what happened, but it's a very unsatisfying ending. I actually really like open-ended endings, but this one, like, you really got no answers. I didn't even understand the ending enough to even like imagine or know if it was open-ended, like if we were actually kind of like led to believe a certain thing happened. I gave it a 3 though, because I did enjoy the writing. I really enjoyed most of the book. The horror in this book isn't like in your face or anything, like nothing like jumps out at you or is like described really grotesquely or anything. It's more about like losing control and how terrible that feels, and also like having something happen to somebody that you love and not being able to control it or not know that it's happening. For my review of it, I literally just said ditto Gwen's review, because Gwen from Gwendolyn Kensinger and Lavender Mud, she read this book a year ago and her review for it is perfect. I could not have said it better myself. She also gave it 3 stars, and I'm going to save most of it to read in my wrap-up. But the first sentence that she wrote is, I'm giving this book 3 stars because I'm like, what the heck did I just read? But also that's the point, right? So it wasn't like my perfect book or anything, but I enjoyed my time reading it. It was something different that I've never read before. It was kind of like a new side to the horror genre that I got to experience, and I did really enjoy the writing style. So I actually finished that one this morning, and then I wanted to start another audiobook. I'm getting to the point where most of the books that I want to keep reading in October are physical books, and so I was kind of like running out of audiobooks, so I've just been like picking up whatever sounds good on a whim basically, and whatever is like available on Libby. So today I started Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm listening to it on audio though, but I do have a physical copy. I do love this cover though, and it's like perfect Halloween vibes. I'm honestly so sorry for the amount of times that I've said vibes in this video. This is about Alex Stern, who's going to school at Yale, I think. If not Yale, some kind of big Ivy League college. She can see ghosts, and she is wrapped up in this like secret society that's happening at the school. There is a murder that has just happened, and it's dual POV, and I am just really enjoying it so far. I haven't read anything from Leigh Bardugo in a long time, so it's really fun to revisit her writing style and stuff because I really enjoy it. As far as hooky goes, I did not get very far into it. I made it to page 23. It's moving very fast, which I think will be good since it's kind of a chunkier graphic novel. I don't know why, but I've been kind of like putting this one off a little bit. Like when I'm sitting down to play Animal Crossing or like go on TikTok or something, I think in my head like, oh, you should pick up Hooky, especially because I'm doing this vlog and stuff. And I'm like, I really don't want to pick it up though. And I don't know why. So I'm thinking for the rest of the evening, at least like leading up to dinner and stuff, I'm just gonna do kind of whatever I want, play Animal Crossing. That's my main thing that I've been doing today since we got home. And then maybe tonight after dinner, I'll sit down and try to read a little bit of this. But I also want to paint the pumpkins tonight, so I don't know exactly what will happen. If I keep flipping through this, I'm gonna see spoilers. I need to stop doing that. the next day and I did not get very much farther into Hooky. I think I read like a few pages last night. I really want to finish my TBR that I set for myself for the week though, so I'm going to try to read more of this tonight, maybe hopefully finish it. It is kind of a chunky graphic novel. And then I also would like to at least get started on the Seance Tea Party. Lucky for me though, today is the first day of Bookathon. It's being hosted by Keisha, Gwen, and Gabby, but it's based around reading middle grade, which I've been doing a lot of this week with these graphic novels. So since it's the first day of the readathon, they're actually doing live reading sprints right now. But anyway, on my drive home, I was listening to more of the audiobook for Ninth House, even though it doesn't really fit with the middle grade readathon. I have been just hooked on this book and I wanted to keep reading it all day. I listened to quite a bit of it at work today too, which was really nice. I'm enjoying my time reading this book so much. I love the secret society, dark academia, like magic stuff that's happening in it. I really love Alex's character and I have a lot of respect for her after like everything that she's gone through in her life. Her backstory is so sad, but like so perfect for her character, if that makes sense. I have been getting a little bit confused while I've been reading this because there are different timelines that we're following. There are lots of different like names that you have to remember, but I also think that might just be because of the audiobook. I think that if I was reading this physically, I would be able to keep things straight a little bit easier. But anyway, I listened to more of this on the way home, still loving it. I am almost done with it. I'm about 75% of the way through it, so I can definitely finish it soon. But tonight during reading sprints, my goal is going to be to read more of this. Hi, it's a couple days later and I ended up finishing Hooky finally. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Even though I was having kind of a hard time getting through this one and it took me a lot longer than it usually does to get through a graphic novel, I ended up really not caring about my pacing issues and stuff. Like halfway through I was just feeling like it was a really long book, and it kind of is for a graphic novel. But overall I feel like the length of it, even though I was having kind of a harder time, it let you get to know the characters a lot better. And I absolutely love the characters from this book. They are so cute. I love all of like the budding relationships that are happening. And I'm also really invested in the plot and like what's happening and stuff with these characters. I love all of the witch and magic vibes. The illustrations are absolutely beautiful. And I liked it so much that I immediately ordered the second book after I finished it. But yeah, really liked this, 4 stars. I definitely recommend it, especially for October. Alongside ordering Hooky Volume 2, I got a couple of other graphic novels. I ordered The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. I've had this on my TBR for a long time just because of the art style. I'm kind of sad about how small it is, and also the fact that I paid the same amount for this one as I did for this one. Something's just not right about that. Either way, I'm excited to read this still though, so I'm happy to have this in my collection now. And I also ordered Garlic and the Vampire. It's by Brie Paulson and I have heard nothing but good things about this. The back says, Garlic feels as though she's always doing the wrong thing. Garlic, no, oh my gosh, she is so cute. I have heard a lot of my friends say that they relate to Garlic, and I'm sure that I will too. But this just sounds so cute, and I was meaning to get to this week for Bookathon, but it got here late, and I also just like had a crazy week and ended up not really doing a whole lot with Bookathon, and I'm really sad about that. But hopefully next year I can like carve out some better time for it to fully commit. But I still would really like to read this month. So there's a tiny little graphic novel book haul for you. And today my goal is to start and finish the Seance Tea Party. I said in the beginning of this video that I was going to have all of the author pronunciations, and I am going to, but I literally just keep forgetting. So I'll have, during my like little final wrap up for this video, I'll have all of the names correctly pronounced. This is kind of a chunkier book, but a lot of the pages are kind of like this, so I think it'll go by pretty quick. I want to try to have just like a really cozy kind of time reading this, so I think that I'm gonna build a fort and I'll just sit down and read this. I just finished The Seance Tea Party, and I think that I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It was just so sweet, and all of the illustrations were beautiful. This isn't so much of like an adventure story like Hooky or Mooncakes or something. It's more like it had a clear message that it wanted to get across, and the message is that growing up sucks sometimes, but it's a necessary thing, and you can still be true to yourself and have that magic in your life no matter what age you're at. And I think that's a really sweet message, especially because I feel like I'm paying so much attention to growing up right now. Like, I'm very aware of my age, and so it's nice to be reminded that you're still you no matter how old you are, and you can still have that like childlike wonder about yourself or have interests in things that younger you was interested in, like stuffed animals, for example. This was just a cute, quick read, and I definitely recommend it for October. Hi, this is embarrassing because it is like more than a month later. I meant to have this video out like in mid-October so that you could have some of these books as recommendations before Halloween, but that is not what happened. I thought about just scrapping the whole entire video because it's like so much past Halloween, but I really liked a lot of the books and things that I talked about in the video, so I didn't want to just let it go to waste. So hopefully, even though October and Halloween are over, this was still a fun video to watch. So yeah, I wanted to do a final wrap-up clip just to kind of tell you that, and then also go over everything that I read during that week. I read Crumbs by Danny Sterling and gave it 3 stars. I read Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu, Suzanne Walker, and Joamet Gill. I couldn't find how to pronounce that last name, and I gave this one 5 stars. I read Hooky by Miriam Bonastre Tour, and I gave this one 4 stars. And then the last graphic novel that I read was The Seance Tea Party by Rimena Yi. I gave this one 4 stars. And then for regular novels, I read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I also read The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling and gave it 3.5 stars. And then Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin, and I gave that 3 stars. I had so much fun reading these books during that week, and I feel like it really helped me get into like the fall spirit and to like be feeling cozy and stuff. And these are all books that I would recommend outside of October and Halloween spooky season, but they are especially fun to read during that time of year. But I am really happy with all of the reading that I got done in this video. This is kind of a longer one, so if you made it all the way to the end, thank you very much. And if you want to leave an emoji, you can leave a witch emoji because I feel like I read a lot of witchy things. I would love some graphic novel recommendations if you have any, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.